Most of the Delver players I know seem to disagree.
See, it's matches like this that just make me think to myself, man, why isn't just like crushing vines all over the place? I mean, destroy a golem if you need to, but like you can hit their birthing pod or you can hit their birds of paradise. You can hit the restoration angel or their insectile aberration.
One of the things
Their
about
sword of Worn Peace, Rune Changer's Pike, any of that.
one of the things about crushing vines, I've played it in the sideboard of mono green aggro, really, really awesome. And at the same time, sometimes I just don't have time to do it. So I think what happens is people play it and they don't count all the times it was awesome, and they remember every time it wasn't quite good enough.
I think an awful lot of people just are so used to not main decking those types of cards, they just haven't in a while. I mean, you would main deck Putrefy.
That was a good card.
Yeah, so is Crushing Vines. We'll see. I just think Crushing Vines, somebody's going to start doing well with it. It's going to start spreading in popularity, and eventually we'll come to the spot where people are just playing Crushing Vines. That's
They're
just
playing
a normal thing that people do.
Anna Control with Crushing Vines and Thragtusk,
Dude, it's possible.
or Bant Control with
Dude,
those
give them
cards.
that bug. Or bugs or rugs, either way. So, turn 2 Blade Splicer. A nice opening from Travis Harrison.
That is the biggest, reddest golem I've ever seen.
That's true. That's true. So, 2 Delver of Secrets rushing down. After the Ponder, it was a Ponder Keep, right? So, like, next turn, we should be seeing 2 insectile aberrations. Man, gut shot, left and right. Why don't... Gut shot's just so good. Tell you though, doesn't Whip Flare seem so hot too?
Whip Flare is awesome. That's a good card.
Whip it. Whip it good.
And we're going to see a Borderland Ranger, perhaps? Borderland Ranger into a forest, into a bird. Boom. What kind of forest is that? I don't recognize that one.
Is that from is that M11?
I don't know. At home, you can tweet to us at SCG Live. What set is that forest from? I'd like to know.
Or is that New Phyrexia? That might be New Phyrexia. I bet that's either New Phyrexia or Scars of Mirrodin.
And there's the forest into a bird.
Yeah, New Phyrexia or Scars of Mirrodin's my bet. So what are we revealing, Ponder?
That is a full text or a full art Ponder.
I like it.
Good card, good card.
The one that always cracked me up was the full art Cryptic Command.
Yeah. That one is hilarious.
Cryptic Command, obviously. It does all these things, you know.
I swear, there has to be someone in Wizards of the Coast that likes blue.
You're talking about the people who design the cards?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but they give you a test when you try to apply to Wizards of the Coast. They give you a test for R&D anyway. They give you a test to see the design test you may have heard of. And one of the questions on it is, what color do you love with all of your soul and will do everything in your power to ensure that it is always the best?
It's true, it's true.
If you get this wrong, it's a deal breaker.
You know, I knew there was a reason that I didn't get that job 12 years ago.
So the correct answer is not red.
Oh, man.
Particularly from a guy like you who's an animage.
It's funny. I interviewed for a job there a long time ago, and they asked me, "What's your background in sports?" And I said, "Oh, you know, I don't really do much with sports these days." And they were about to do MLB Showdown, and so, yeah, Brian Schneider did very, very good in that job.
Dave Shiels,
here we go.
Considering his options, still tanking
He's
on
been
the ponder.
pondering for quite a while here.
Yeah.
That's why we, I think, waxed on
Wax
R&D.
poetic. Dude, I'll tell you. I mean, stuff seems pretty loud to me today, but sitting in between Mark Rosewater and Scaff, it wasn't always quiet.
And it is new Phyrexia. Thank you to everyone out there in the Twitterverse.
Woohoo!
Mark Teeden, or Tedden, I apologize, Mark, if you're out there listening.
You're talking about the artist?
Yeah, he's the one that did the art.
Oh! I thought he was the one tweeting to you.
Yeah, no, Mark Teeden didn't tell me that he did it. No, someone else did. I just don't know how to pronounce his name, and I feel bad.
This is Anson Maddox. My good buddy Mark. Mark Tedden did it. All right, so insect aberration beatdown is the plan here, right? Like this is one of those classic we're gonna race you. Like we can't really stop all these creatures in this Gavoni Township, but what we can do is send some flyers and a Vapor Snag or two. You know, a Vapor Snag and then a Snapcaster Mage to just win the race. I actually like Shiels' chances here. Because, I mean, Travis has more power, but Shiels has him on a clock.
I mean, it's a short clock, too. It could be 2 swings and dead.
It's a nice thing he's got so many Birds of Paradise to chump with. You know? Like, that's going to be key.
This actually brings me to one of the questions I keep thinking about when I build numerous decks in this format. Do I want to have, as I'm putting in my 1-mana accelerators, Birds of Paradise? Or do I want to have other cards that can attack, like Arbor Elf, for example, or Avacyn's Pilgrim? And the fact that a bird can block a Delver, that is not a thing that is meaningless.
No, plus, if he activates the Township here, which he does, he can activate again next turn and potentially have 2 birds that can trade with the insects.
We see a Vapor Snag here, getting rid of the token. So now it is just the 1/2s and the 2/2s for our creatures. And Dave Shiels is like, oh, I forgot about that. Borderland Ranger was hiding off the top of the screen. Dave Shiels is like, let's not do paper. How about I give you a die?
Well, it's a tough spot for Shiels. Mostly, I mean, if he's got some Snapcaster Vapor Snag action, he can still win this race. But the fact that those birds are threatening to trade with his insects next turn, I mean, that's a big game.
Right. Thank you to the 13 people who, the 12 people who gave us the answer about New Phyrexia. Appreciate it. I always like to know.
You're telling him to stop? If you guys know what set came after Scars of Mirrodin, you can tweet at Adrian personally.
Oh, no. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Patrick Chapin.
What up?
He and I have been sitting here for about, a pretty short 8 hours. Much less the time than we normally have been here.
Flying, though.
Time is flying.
That's fun.
One of the things that's going on here, the Star City Games staff, we're getting through these rounds really quick, and it doesn't seem like we have had many extra turns dragging our tournament out at the end of these matches.
So good that fetch lands aren't legal.
Oh, fetch lands.
Or land tax.
Gitaxian Probe shows Zealous Conscripts, Borderland Ranger, and Elvish Visionary.
That's potentially making a race a bit harder. Zealous Conscripts, such a powerful card. What do you think about the this war of 5-drops? The Zealous Conscript, Thundermoth, Thragtusk, Silverheart. Are there any other 5s in that league?
In that league?
Or in the
Geist
top
Honored
tier?
Monk, maybe?
Geist Honored Monk, is that the 5th best one?
Maybe. It's a hard one.
There's Gideon
it's a hard call.
too. And there's Gideon. That's something, I guess.
Yeah, Gideon counts. Gideon counts. I mean, you can put Gideon in a beatdown deck, and it's a 6/6.
I want to know where the black 5-drop is.
You talking about the demon?
No.
Not good
the
enough?
real. No, I want somebody that goes hard. Hard in the paint.
Batterskull? That goes pretty
Batterskull's
hard.
pretty good, but it's not as black as I'd want.
I don't know, it's a germ.
It is a germ, and it is a black germ among germs. All right, so Shiels in a pretty rough spot here. But, I mean, he is, like, I guess if he's got 2 Vapor Snags, is this lethal? Does he win? Like, is that the game?
Off of 2 snags, I think that it is.
Because if he snags the Conscript and he snags the Borderland Ranger, he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going to 1. Travis goes to 5 and dies on the crackback.
See what happens. And Travis, what's coming in? He decides.
He's playing around everything. Gotta respect a man who plays around everything.
Micron, if you're out there, I'm thinking about you right now.
H-Ron, represent from Milwaukee and the island of Curacao.
Yes. Dharma Initiative, if you like. I like calling it that. You might not.
And I love the Dharma Initiative. I miss Lost, dude. Seriously.
I feel like Lost went off the rails for me around season 3.0.
Dude, there's not a day that goes by I don't think to myself about how much I miss Lost. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point.
And we have a block here. That means 2 damage for Dave Shiels.
Taste it. Is this really an Elvish Visionary? It is.
Draw a card.
Because he can still block with his bird and pump. But this is kind of dangerous territory here, right?
Ooh, look at this. Drew an angel.
That helps. That helps. This makes it a lot less dangerous because a little bit of sweet, sweet Vapor Snag action.
I think Travis has this now.
I mean, unless Shiels is just packing Vapor Snags for days. He's got a mana leak. 2 snags is still game over. But the way this game has been played, it would be shocking if he actually had 2 Vapor Snags. Shiels has to try to figure out a game plan that isn't just lives one more turn, but also could actually theoretically lead to a spot where he wins.
And he's like, I don't see it. He's
Right.
like, I don't see
He's
it.
like, I'm not living through the turn.
Now, let's pretend that he had 2 snags. Even that wouldn't have been enough. He would have needed 2 snags and a mana leak.
Well, he had a leak.
Yeah. I'm saying if he had just those 2 snags, it would be 2 snags plus a leak to be able to make that be the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was close though. He had the leak. I don't know if he had any snags, but
So what are we seeing out of each of these players? Looks like Shiels is Dismember coming in? Is that a thing?
Dismember seems really reasonable to me.
What about Talrand Sky Summoner?
You know, I'm not sure. I think that it might be good. It brings up a whole bunch of bodies to throw in the air.
I heard a rumor that nobody was playing Talrand in the sideboard of their Delver deck, but as we see here,
Don't believe all the rumors you hear.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Now,
sometimes those rumors are a little quick to inform.
here, I think on Travis Harrison's side, Daybreak Ranger, Crushing Vines,
Stinger
Thrag
Fling.
Tusk, Stinger Fling Spider, those all seem very reasonable to me. And I have never minded Sword of War and Peace against Delver.
No, nope, it's not a bad one.
And Yeva. I actually think Yeva is probably
very
a very
exciting.
good card against Delver.
I think so too. That instant speed threat, like they tap out to play Restoration Angel, and you're like, surprise! I'm gonna play something bigger that can break through, and makes all my creatures able to be surprises. It's very exciting.
I mean, Travis Harrison.
I think Yeva's a little underplayed anyway. Like,
I
think
agree.
that card is a sweet card.
I was watching one player that was playing mono green aggro a couple of weeks ago, and they had 3 Yeva.
Wow.
And I think that they got 40th, which is not great, but 40th out of about 400 is still quite good.
The 90th percentile, if you will.
You know, one of the things when I look at the 5s, it makes me think about when we saw when we saw Baneslayer Angel's first appearance, and just how mind-blowing it was seeing a 5-drop with that much power and toughness and that many abilities.
Baneslayer Angel heralding in a new era of Magic creatures. Once Wizards of the Coast saw how good Tarmogoyf was and how much people loved that kind of business, they started engineering cards to be the perfect Tarmogoyf instead of letting it fall to happenstance. You gotta admit, Baneslayer Angel's a lot more epic of a creature than Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is just like, okay, I get it, the numbers are wrong.
Right? Tarmogoyf is a card that when you play it, I think because of its cheapness, it just is like, okay, big dumb dude, okay.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. At the pre-release for Future Sight, Eric Taylor predicted that Tarmogoyf would be high tier 1 in every format. This was at the pre-release, and people thought he was crazy. That's good for Eric Taylor.
I remember when I was looking at it, saying to myself, actually saying to everyone, you know, it'll probably be a 3-4 sometimes. You know, but I mean, sometimes it'll be a squire. That can't be that great. Holy wow, was I wrong.
I played against that guy in the regionals that year, and it was like, my big plan was I was on this volcanic hammer type of time. You know, last gasps and volcanic hammers just for days, and then my opponent plays Tarmogoyf, and it was like, wow, that's pretty good. I guess that's a 3-4.
I was talking to Ian DeGraff, someone that I mention on air sometimes, and he did one of them.
Ian.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I@N.
He speculated on that card and picked up something like 30 or 40 in the first couple of days, and the thing was, that's a great speculation, but he got out early, you know, and only made a couple $100. I really suck at speculation. Yeah, every time I've tried to speculate on a card, never quite works out. I think I gave up somewhere around the time that land tax was banned. That was when I gave up on speculation.
Economics is a funny thing. You're an idealist, a dreamer. Whereas like Craig Wesco, he's a practical man. Sword of War and Peace, shove all in. Look like a fool for predicting $40+ for Sword of War and Peace. Actually, somehow, Sword of War and Peace actually hit 40 at some point, right? Crazy. Yep. So, who's laughing now? Points to Craig Wesco. These are the 5-drops, huh? Is this a list of badass 5-drops?
I put together a short list of 5-drops, some of which are a stretch to get the badass moniker, but all the ones that kind of are on the verge of it at least.
Absolutely.
Ponder, turn 1, Dave Shiels.
Sigarda, very good.
Sigarda's a monster.
So Shiels pondering, what is he even looking for? What do you think is the most important card for him in this matchup? Is it Delver of Secrets, just to put a fast clock on Travis?
I mean, I think that ultimately, when it boils down to it, Gutshot Snapcaster is the opener that you want to do against these Naya decks, or any of these Elf Bird decks.
I can see it.
And we have some confirmation. Carl Dillahay is going to be in the top 8 of this event. Travis Harrison here, putting his new Phyrexian Bird of Paradise, or Forest, to cast a Bird of Paradise.
Fairly standard.
I don't know. I don't usually see new Phyrexian Forests casting birds.
Bird of Paradise. New Phyrexia. A good one, but not the most common forest.
And we got turn 2, Seachrome Coast.
Now that's an island.
There's the Gutshot.
It's no unhinged island, but if you have to play with a non-unhinged island, I'll definitely take that one.
What about Unglued?
Nah. I'd rather have APAC or Beta than Unglued. Unglued's good though. It's certainly up there. But I think that there's only like two or three islands that are even in the same league as like the 7th best John Avon island.
John Avon seriously is one of my favorite land artists.
He's my favorite. Unhinged Island is my favorite artwork. I don't know if you could tell from my gushing about it every 3 seconds.
And we see a Gitaxian Probe. That Insectile Aberration, as it's marked down on Dave Shiels' deck list, is no longer a Delver of Secrets.
Just got actually this most awesome birthday present from my fiance. A picture, like a full art, large Unhinged Island. And I think there's actually something on Star City about that right now, right? Like Star City's offering the unhinged the unhinged artwork. So Travis's hand, quite the grip, revealed to Dave Shiels, who can now play around it.
Birthing Pod, Inferno Titan. Those are two very, very powerful cards that Dave is going to have to deal with.
It'll be interesting to see how much it actually impacts these Delver decks once they don't have Probe anymore, and they can't just play around with perfect information, you know.
And Travis here on the right of the screen. He was talking. I met him, I believe, in Boston at one point in the past, and he, Elvish Visionary.
Is this a Blade Splicer or Borderland Ranger?
Borderland Ranger.
I like it.
That's one of my favorite cards in M13.
You know who likes a Borderland Ranger more than most?
Who?
Michael Flores. Why hasn't Michael Flores been making any Borderland Ranger decks?
Why isn't he here? How far is it from New York to get here?
It's like 8 hours, I think.
Darn it.
I think it's a short flight, though. Maybe it's 7 hours, 6 hours? We gotta get one of the natives. One of the natives on the horn here.
Borderland Ranger, does it work? This is actually an interesting question. Even if Dave has a mana leak, it's still an interesting question. Just there you go. Says no.
Knows he has Inferno Titan in his hand. Mana leaks Borderland Ranger anyway. What's interesting is, did he need the Inferno Titan to get the mountain to be able to the Borderland Ranger to get the mountain to cast the Inferno Titan? Is this 3 birds with 1 stone? The mountain, the Borderland Ranger, and the Inferno Titan, all stopped by the mana leak? Shiels missing land drops, right?
Yeah. Dave Shiels, I believe, was undefeated last round, and then I believe lost that round.
It's a tough thing. Win your first 7 rounds, lose your 8th, and then in the 9th, lose the first game. So you're like, wait, what? I was already counting my spot in the top 8. I couldn't draw in, and now this?
There's the Pilgrim joining the 2 very potent cards. Dave's Kingdom here for a gut shot and another mana leak. In for 3.
Like, he's not in that bad a shape yet, as long as Travis doesn't hit that red mana. What I'd like to see is if Dave has it in him to just tap out here and be like, I ain't scared, let's go.
Dave Shiels, a veteran of the game, been playing quite a while. Somebody that you would be unsurprised to see in the top 8 of this event. Now Dave, he is playing
fairly straightforward Delver. We're after sideboarding?
Blade Splicer is a 1-of in his sideboard.
Yep. Travis, surveying his options, doesn't get the red mana he was looking for.
Is that a Restoration Angel?
I think it's Italia.
I really like Dave's play here, honestly. Just putting a clock down and saying, have it. Just pushing Travis to do something.
You want to race? Let's race. You can't beat the Inferno Titan anyway, so he's going to try to end the game before it comes to that.
Now remember, if Travis Harris drops the Birthing Pod and then activates it, he's going to be losing at least 2 life, if not more, in order to make that happen.
What's he even going to go get?
He could get a Borderland Ranger by getting rid of that Visionary.
Interesting. Threaten the Titan next turn.
Here's the 2 mana.
Looks like that's what's happening.
Goodbye, Borderland Visionary. Hello, Borderland Ranger.
How many Borderland Rangers does he play?
2.
Ah, so he does have one more for just such an occasion. No, is that a Manic Vandal? Maybe he doesn't have both Borderland Rangers in. Looks like he might just be getting Manic Vandal and hitting the Golem.
I mean, by doing this play, he is saying the game is not about me casting this Inferno Titan. I just want to blunt you a little bit.
I respect that.
I mean, he was in a position where he could be under a theoretical 2-turn clock, and now it's more like a 4-turn clock, 5 turns maybe.
Yep.
That's a lot of time for that birthing pod to, influence the game.
Absolutely.
Or, as they say, do some work.
Well, it's going to keep getting worse, right? Like next turn he can sack the Vandal and go get a Huntmaster. Or a Restoration Angel. Either of which can stabilize in a hurry.
Dave is under a real amount of pressure right now. He needs to end the game quickly. Thought Scour. He's looking for something. It's like Timely and Snag.
Snag makes his eventual Snapcaster better, that's for sure. Continues the pressure. In comes the Insect. It's going to be real tough for him here fighting this birthing pod, though. I mean, this is what Travis's deck's designed to do.
And part of the problem for a... oh, there's a Geist. Pass.
So he's like, okay, you're trying to quiet things down. I'm going to try to make it even louder. Let's get this thing, let's get this party going.
Blade Splicer, drawn by Travis Harris.
So he can go Blade Splicer, sack it, get a 4-drop. Maybe a Restoration Angel, blink out the Blade Splicer. So actually sack the Manic Vandal, and then blink the Blade Splicer, so that he's got 2 Golems, a Blade Splicer, and a Restoration Angel. Like that does a pretty good job of stabilizing the game, right?
His life total is still rapidly dropping, so there's a Thalia. Just trying to slow Dave down from things like Vapor Snag, Snapcaster, Vapor Snag. 2 mana, goodbye Vandal. Hello, Huntmaster. That 2 life matters so much, too.
It's interesting, because Talia can hold off Geist. I mean, doesn't hold it off, but is very threatening to the Geist of St. Traft.
This puts Travis Harrison up to 11.
And he's got a bird to chump the Angels, so that he at least is just dropping to 8. I mean...
Yeah, if there's a Vapor Snag that happens, it's close, but not quite.
Yep. That extra life from the Huntmaster is definitely giving him a little cushion.
Wow.
Oh, he doesn't chump. He's not going to even threaten to block with the bird. It says, Vapor Snag be damned. Let's just go.
This means that Dave can just straight up get in for 7 in the air.
All right. Sword of War and Peace, just lethal?
As long as there's a land involved, yes.
Oh. Oh, he doesn't play Sword of War and Peace in it. Does he have it in the board? No, he only has the Pike. The Pike's probably lethal too, though,
Pike is probably
right?
lethal.
Wow, and he's got the mana for it.
The Pike he still needs 1 more for. The Thalia doing a little bit of monkey wrenching.
Ooh, good call.
But Dave is in a position where he has plays that could make him win the game, but there aren't very many of them. I think what we might see is because of that Huntmaster, I think we might see attack and then Restoration Angel after the Geist is blocked. Ooh, 5 mana. That's enough for a Pike.
Yeah, but he would just do it. There's no hidden information. Travis doesn't have any mana.
Yeah, gotcha.
And he hasn't even looked at his graveyard yet.
Boom, here they come.
So the Angel, the Geist of St. Traft, and the Insectile Aberration. Continuing to just try to, wild complications, just wild combat here, complications, and making it a very short game from this point.
We see a double block with, I believe, a Golem and a Thalia on the Geist of St. Trapped. I think we're going to see a Restoration Angel from Dave Shiels to protect his Geist. And this also keeps the Huntmaster from flipping. Take 7, he says. Go to 4. Wow. Now remember, Travis can now get a Thrag Tusk if he wants. Oh, that's a rough one. And Inferno Titan.
No, wait, is it? Because he can't kill the Restoration Angel or the Geist of St. Trapped. So that's 7 in the air right there. He needs to have some business. Like, if he taps his bird to cast the Inferno Titan, what's he got?
It's a good point.
I don't think he can cast the Inferno Titan here. I think it's a trick.
Well, he can do an attack to start with, right?
And see what happens.
And then follow up with the Inferno Titan. He should not have played the mountain.
Yeah.
Jinx. It's okay, Patrick. Yeah, that mountain gave a lot of information away.
So what's the plan here? Does he just need Thrag Tusk? Is that what's happening?
Dave has maneuvered this game so that a Thrag Tusk is absolutely necessary for Travis to stay alive.
He has access to Fiend Hunter if he wants it. He has access to Sublime Archangel. No, he can't. He doesn't have a 3 to go get it though.
I think we're going to see the first stage. Is this Blade Splicer? Okay, he makes his other golem first strike.
So he can get a Metamorph and copy the Geist, or he can get Thrag Tusk just to get a little bit of life. Which it looks like it's what he's going to do. Now he's on the chump with bird plan though, because he's only at 9, and he's looking at 10 in the air.
Okay, he sacks the Blade Splicer.
So when if he gets Metamorph here, if he's still, even if he chumps,
he can get Restoration Angel and bring the Huntmaster back. There it is. So that gets him up to 6 plus a flyer in the defense.
But he's dead to that still. Birds of Paradise blocks the Angel, and he takes 6 from the other 2 flyers.
So he's got Bird and Angel, Thalia, Huntmaster,
oh, he has
and
the Angel
wolf
to block with. Okay,
yeah.
He can still block with the Angel, so he's not dead to the board, but he's dead to a single snag.
Yes.
Or a Snapcaster Mage.
Wow. Dave Shiels playing
Very
this
well played
very
by Shiels.
masterfully. Can he capitalize on his good play?
He might be at the end of the road. It looks like he might have just land.
I don't think he has anything.
Does he have any way to buy himself one more turn?
I mean, the thing about this is, even if he loses, which looks likely, he maneuvered this beautifully. And it's not over yet.
It's real tough, because, I mean, his position is about to start crumbling.
I mean,
if that Huntmaster flips.
Right. Well, I mean, this game is basically over in the next turn and a half.
One way or the other.
God, it's funny because games like this are exactly why I like Magic. Because even though Dave Shiels is in a position where he looks like he's probably going to lose, he pushed this game so that it's very possible he could win. I mean, he might not, it looks bad, but he maneuvered this game into this position so just masterfully. I think we're going to see a practically all-out attack here, or at least in the air all-out attack. Oh, whoa, back to the D, I'm wrong. In with just the Angel, well, off of the Geist. He's sandbagging, I believe, a Geist and a land.
Now, is this to chump block the, like, see if he can get the bird to block so that Travis doesn't have Inferno Titan next turn? Either that or that the Restoration chumps because Travis might be scared.
That's interesting.
I like this attack. Besides, he's got to get the Geist out of there anyway so he can use his other Geist.
And now back to Travis. What's he going to do here? Thalia blocks Geist. And Big Angel in the air with some friends. So the wolf is going to die.
Is Travis just going to take it, or is he going to block? It's definitely a tough spot. Travis doesn't, you know.
Wow.
All right.
Gives up access to the Inferno Titan.
Good attack by Shiels. Now, is it? Wow. Is it really better to do that instead of just play the land, or is the land a Seacrum Coast?
I don't know.
Because if he could activate Moorland Haunt, I like activating Moorland Haunt if that's an option. But it's probably a Seacrum Coast in his hand. From bad to worse, the Stinger Fling.
Ouch. Take that, Angel. Oh, do you see how Dave put that in the yard? Not happy.
No. But he still is representing lethal. Right? Like, he needs, at this point, to deal with both the Spider and the Angel in order to get through in the air for 7. Is that true?
Not if the Angel's tapped.
Travis wisely keeping the Angel home.
He still hasn't even activated his birthing pod this turn.
No. No, he hasn't. Does he have any mana, though?
He's got a elf, an arbor, or sorry, Avacyn's Pilgrim.
So he could sack the Huntmaster to go get a Thragtusk to make it even worse.
That would be so terrible.
I gotta imagine that's his play. Shiels facing lethal next turn.
Yeah, and just a quick note, the Thalia would kill the Geist before the wolf would die. That's why there's a wolf still in play yet. Apologies for my misspeak there. And there's the Thragtusk. Is that nails in the coffin for Dave Shiels?
Does Sword of War and Peace do anything here? You still block with the Spider, though. I mean, he doesn't play Day of Judgment, does he? No. That's the match. Travis Harrison. Travis Harrison takes it 2-0 against Dave Shiels.
Yeah.
Is it true? Does Nyapod is that the remedy for all these Delver decks?
You know, I keep hearing it again and again, and I see it sometimes, so it could well be.
But either way you slice it, a fantastically played game by Dave Shiels.
Yeah, Dave Shiels played that really, really well. Now, you can play as well as you want, and that does not mean you're going to win the match, though. And Magic is not just about pulling out your ELO rating and seeing who has the bigger one.
It'll be interesting to see how many in the top 8. Some of the Delver decks we saw doing real well earlier, but it seems like they've fallen off a little bit near the end.
That's right. Now, it looks to me then we're going to probably have the Elf Wave deck in the top 8. We're going to have, actually he had to play. He had to play this last round. We definitely, we have word that Carl Dillahay is in our top 8. I'm not sure if we have anything else yet about that, but we're going to try to see what we can get for other matches under the camera as well.
And just